Meet Kenzie Lynch, a first-year business major with a daily challenge that most of us will never fully appreciate.
I've been visually impaired since birth. I was diagnosed with microphthalmia and sclerocornea, which has limited my vision to colors and shapes and shadows to a very close distance. And I've had this since I was born. It's a film over my cornea and underdeveloped eyes is what my diagnosis in a nutshell is. I try not to let my visual impairment dictate how I live, my quality of life. It's going to have an impact on some things I do, but I try and live as normal as possible. I've gone to public school, middle school, high school. I made it to Drexel, so I like to think I've lived a pretty relatively normal life for my circumstances.
Kenzie helps keep his world normal by being a tech junkie.
I have a laptop that's equipped with what's called JAWS. It's a speech package that it's a screen reader that reads things to me as they appear on the screen, different links, headings, buttons, things like that. This is the laptop that I use to do a majority of my homework on. So I search the web with a screen reader, and then when I go to do Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anything like that, I use my iPhone. There's a feature called VoiceOver, which provides audible feedback as I touch the screen. I can do a number of different things.
Different things include being an avid social media user.
I definitely love Facebook, Twitter. I'm definitely there. Feel free to follow.
With a username like @GodLikesVariety, you might think he's infatuated with himself, but the name has a more universal meaning to Kenzie.
So I worked at McDonald's for 2 years, and one of my first days, I was working in the drive-thru, and this dad and their kid saw me working, and they were behind the register. And the kid asked their dad, "Daddy, why are his eyes closed?" And in response, the dad goes, "Well, because God likes variety."
And Kenzie has a variety of clever ways to get around Drexel's urban environment.
I call them landmarks. So there's like you'll see me, if you ever see me leave my dorm, there's little things that I'll use to know, okay, this is how I'm back on the right track. If you see me go to, for example, like Crossing Market, like I'll find a street post to know that I'm perfectly lined up and I'm not going to walk in the middle of the intersection when I cross the street. And when I'm listening to traffic, I have to listen to both directions. All right, when is this traffic stopping and this traffic starting?
He manages to keep in shape and keep in touch.
But in terms of hobbies, things like that, I love to run. I've actually done 2 marathons in the past 2 years. I did Philly back in 2013, the Philadelphia Marathon, and I did Chicago back in October, my freshman year. So I found running to be an outlet that really cools me down. I can clear my head, I can go for a run, I can really burn off some steam. If I've had a tough day, I can just go run 5, 6, 7 miles and feel fine.
In fact, he's such a mellow fellow that his peers often forget about his visual condition.
He blends in relatively well with the rest of us. You can't really tell without seeing him that he's blind. Like, he acts just like anybody else, which is good. I think that Kenzie, wherever he goes, is a pretty good contribution to the environment socially. Like, I think that he's a really fun kid to have around. I like him.
He honestly inspires me every single day. I am bothering him with a million questions. How do you do this? How do you hear the cars coming? How do you navigate the city? And what he does every day, I mean, he's chosen the hardest route, coming to school in a city, in Philadelphia let alone, where, you know, he has to navigate all of the streets, and he is not faced with any adversity. He honestly just does it with such a loving heart, and he has so much determination and is honestly one of the most inspiring people I've ever met in my life, and I am so honored to call him one of my best friends.
All in all, the optimistic freshman possesses a can-do attitude.
I'm making life easier for future students that have my similar circumstances down the road. Because if I were to give up now, then that just fills a stereotype that's already been there, that, oh, visually impaired people might not be able to belong in an urban environment. You know, it may not be one of those, it may be one of those things where they don't fit in this sort of setting. So I feel like as a visually impaired student, it's a responsibility to not just myself, but to future visually impaired people, to my friends, to my family, to everyone that I value, to put my best effort in and know that whatever I put my name on, I've done the best I can to be successful at whatever it is that I do.
For D News, I'm Rogelio Aguilar.